haven't had a good night's sleep in 3 days. I've been giddy ever since I figured that this might be a murder case. Not even a broken arm could keep me down. But now that I'm here, the truth seems a lot more complicated. This story is my shot. Better make it count.
I don't want to go in there without turning the lights on. Aha! Nice. In an emergency, you may need to identify a foreign substance. Many chemicals can be isolated by observing the color of the flame that they produce when burned. The chart below lists several examples. Copper sulfate is green, lithium chloride is deep red, sodium borate is orange, copper chloride is blue, sodium carbonate is yellow. Hmm. Are you enjoying yourself, Harris? Does it excite you to shun me, to treat me like garbage the way that you do? When you sit in bed with that little slut, do you smoke cigarettes and laugh about me? I know all about you, Harris. I know about the girl who's living at your house. You're old enough to be her grandfather, for Christ's sake. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm ashamed of you. The whole town is ashamed of you. You are a laughingstock, Harris. A public spectacle. Now you have that Sawyer kid running your errands for you. You don't even have the guts to show your face around town. Really, Harris, I thought you were more of a man than that. You cheat on me, bankrupt me, and deny me help in my hour of need, and still you are not content. Now you insist on tarnishing my reputation with your lecherous antics. Do you think of no one but yourself? Can you really be the man I knew? My man in Louisville refused my bet this year, Harris. If I can't play the races, I don't know how I will survive. Your little vendetta will be the death of me. Do you understand? When they find me lying in the street, starved and thin and dead from exposure, the blame will be squarely upon your head. Okay? Aha! Graham, for the last year and a half, I've been receiving threatening notes from somebody calling himself Woodcutter. He knows things about my past that I'd rather not have aired in public. After forcing me into early retirement, he now demands that I hand over all my work. Last night, I was supposed to deliver my research materials to him. Instead, I camped out nearby and watched the meeting point through my camera with the big lens. I can't say I was entirely surprised to see you show up. Some advice. Next time you try to extort personal property from somebody, don't arrange a meeting under a bright street lamp. I bet the photos will turn out great. You can make up names, try to spook me in my home, and threaten me all you want, but I'm not giving you my research, Graham. If you want it, you'll have to kill me. A word of warning, I won't go easy. I once broke a man's wrists with a ball-peen hammer, and I rather enjoyed doing it. I look forward to repeating that experiment with you, Harris. Uh-huh. Oh, it's that barn. Alright, I will take a break. I will see you guys next time. Laters. Okay, we're back. Ooh, a hacksaw. Figures. Hmm. So what, is this like an isolation tank? Ooh, what's that? Let me walk over there, damn it. Ugh. Going on, look inside and have it be a jump scare. No, I guess I can't. The main part of the apparatus is complete. Today I tested each of the individual connections, but we won't really know if it works until we can do a proper test with a full moon. The weather conditions required by the device are very sensitive, and anticipating them is proving harder than we predicted. I must tread carefully now. Should Woodcutter know that the apparatus is functional, I would have no chance of stopping him. We must keep the work secret. I rarely venture from the house now. The device is too valuable to leave unguarded. Graham called again today. He knows I'm up to something. He tried his best to worm some details out of me, but his attempts at subterfuge were pretty feeble. The man is an incompetent scientist, but an even more incompetent liar. Josie volunteered vigorously to be the first test subject, and I readily agreed. It's not going to work the first time anyway. Okay. Chapter 19. And it was brighter and brighter and brighter than the sun, but cold, so cold, cold I could see my breath, and it was dark and I heard her voice. It was a light, and her voice was the light, and the cold, and she was talking to me, talking like my mother used to talk to me, and it was beautiful, the most beautiful voice I've ever heard, and I wanted to go there with her and feel her skin and see her eyes, and be her eyes, but it was cold, and I could see my breath, and there was an edge to her voice, sharp like a knife. Her voice had another voice under it, and it was sharp. I thought maybe that is her real voice, and her real voice was cold, and so hesitated. And then I could feel the warmth, and there was warmth, and it was all over me, and I could feel it, and I opened my eyes and saw the warmth, and it was blood. Nice. Mama, respectful always, outrageous hats, simply wonderful, adores music, never angry, not forgotten, all alone. Rosanna, Josephine Turner, age 10.
Graham Wellington wanted fame and glory. Josie Herrera wanted to find something precious. Cynthia Peckman wanted money. Bobby Sawyer wanted to be a writer. I wanted to get out of Kansas and start a real life. Now I just want to see my mother again.
What was he looking at? I don't see anything. Excuse me. Oh yeah, good. Let me just do that. Oh, I guess it's trial and error. Okay. Okay, now what? What the hell am I supposed to do there? Oh yeah, this is a good idea. No, I can't access the menu. Alright, am I missing something? I must be. What am I missing? Oh. Wait, what? Lame. Bill, I've made an incredible, fortunate discovery. About a month ago, a student came by with an old newspaper clipping he'd run across. It was dated 1932 and contained a photograph of four men arrested in a Chicago police bust. One of them is the spitting image of our dear Bullard. The student thought the photo quite curious, particularly because the man pictured is identified by a different name, James Lowry. I laughed it off as coincidence and sent the student on his way. That evening, however, I became consumed with this insane idea that perhaps this was not happenstance after all. Could it be that in 1932 our own Harris Bullard was arrested under a different name? With the right connections, confidential police files are as easy to access as public records. I received today a carbon of James Lowry's 30-year-old arrest report. He was suspected of laundering money for a criminal organization but was never formally charged. Sometime between his arrest and his release, his mugshot was taken. Thankfully, this photo was included in the documents I received. It is undeniably Bullard. It seems that there is more to our mutual friend than meets the eye. Best regards, Graham Wellington. Interesting. Roosevelt signs Colin Harrison Act. Washington, D.C. Today, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the Colin Harrison Act, or Beer Bill, into law. The law gives states the authority to legalize the sale of beer and wine containing 3.2% alcohol or less. For many, the act marks the first step towards dismantling the Volstead Act and ending prohibition. Supporters of the act argue that prohibition has led to a rise in organized crime. A lot of small-time bootleg operations just went out of business, said a local restaurant owner, who asked that his name be withheld. Hmm. That, get back over there. Harris died today, the whole squad gone. The thing is, it should have been me. I was supposed to be on that sub. I asked Harris to switch with me this morning, right as the crew was boarding. Told him I didn't feel well. I've never liked submarines. Harris was the only person I've ever really thought of as a friend. My associates in Chicago would stick a knife in my back without blinking an eye if they thought it would get them some dough. In fact, I'm sure that's what they intend to do the moment I step off this boat. Perhaps I should see Harris passing as an opportunity. All of his things are here. His papers, his extra dog tags, the physics book he showed me. His passport is here. Everyone who knew us personally is at the bottom of the ocean. Maybe my dear friend Harris has provided me with a way out. Interesting. Ooh, barrels! I can't do it properly. Where was that crank? Ah, shoot. Oh, right here. What the hell? Oh, his fingers are broken. Ooh, look at the sky. Nice.